What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Thank you so much for tuning in on my second channel. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get right into this video. Now, this channel is mainly focused on news, so we're going to talk about the news, and then we'll look at NIO from a technical standpoint. But basically, the big news that we're covering today, you can already probably see by the headline, is that Chinese electric car startup NIO shuts factory for 5 days due to global chip shortage. And then, we're going to go into the details of this article. Here are some, key points. It says NIO now expects 19,500 deliveries for the first 3 months of the year versus the previously announced forecast of 20,000, 20,500. And then, we go down here and the production is being halted until March 29th. It's going to begin March 29th. So we got a couple days before that actually happens. So it looks like on Monday. So Monday, most likely till Friday. And then it goes down to here saying that even with the reduction, NIO is on track for more deliveries to start 2021 than both rivals XPeng and Li Auto. Now, this isn't just NIO. There's a lot of makers in the car industry that have been, subject to this. They have been unable to produce what they normally do because of this global chip shortage. So basically what Biden's done now is he signed a bill that hopefully negates this, and it'll help free up the supply chain for these semiconductors, and so they can start producing more chips, and so that it can start going back into these cars. But it is important to note that NIO's been affected by it. So I'm gonna leave this discussion you guys. How do you think this is going to affect the stock price? We're going to look at the stock price, after this discussion. But do you think this is going to cause it to fall even further than it has been? Do you think the reason why it's been falling is because of this chip shortage, or do you think it's another reason? Personally, it's hard to say. We know that the chip shortage is here. We know now that NIO's being directly impacted of it because they're coming out saying that, hey, we're going to shut down for 5 days. But it's not going to hurt us too bad for the next quarter. We're only going to be delivering 500 less than expected. So do you think this is a big deal to investors? Do you think investors are going to be like, hey, I don't like that they're delivering 500 than they said they were. We need to sell the stock now. Or do you think investors aren't going to care really, and it doesn't really mean nothing for this quarter? That's the question I posed to you guys. Get the discussion going in the comments, and then I want to see what you guys have to say about that. But we know that the chip shortage is here, and it's just not affecting, trust me, it's just not affecting NIO. Other stocks are being affected as well with it. But what we're going to look at right now is NIO, and just look at what the price has been doing specifically, last week. So today's Saturday, so we're starting the new week on Monday. And guys, what a crazy week it was. What a horrible week it was for NIO. So we started the week, we were okay, not doing too much, and then, Wednesday was the downfall. Wednesday, we broke this key support. I made a video the night before. I said, hey, if we break this support right here, be careful. Be careful, because we have some downside to go, guys. Pretty much, once we break that was such a strong support before. Look how many times we bounced here. 1, 2, and then the third time that we broke underneath it is when the downfall started. We broke underneath it, and then since then we had that huge selling pressure. And then we fell on Friday. The overall market started pumping up, so we did recover a little bit. I will say that we did recover a little bit from Friday's lows, but we were still down almost $2, which is almost 5%. So even though it recovered a little, I think it was down almost 10% at one time. We got back above this low right here. I was talking to you guys in my NIO view. I said, hey, want to see a close above this low, and then it won't look the strongest, but at least we're not making any new lows here. And guys, we barely made it above. This is not the strongest strength by any means. This doesn't mean we're heading to the moon now, but we did barely make it above that, man. But NIO, it's tough to say right now for NIO, guys. And this is where the whole conversation comes into play. Is this going to hurt it even more? Do you think this is priced in? Do you think the reason why it's been falling recently is because it's been priced in? What do you guys think? I want to hear your opinion. Now, if we look at XPeng, let's take a look at that. XPeng, what did it do? It was down also as well. So it saw that huge decrease in its price from the same time that NIO saw it. So it looks like across the whole spectrum, it was Chinese EVs that suffered that huge decrease, because Xpeng was doing good. It was starting its reversal, and then bam, what happens? It just falls to oblivion. Same thing with Li Auto. Li Auto is the same thing. So it looks like maybe there was some news out. This came around the same time where, hey, there's a chip shortage. We're going to stop production, and maybe this is the reaction we saw, and maybe that is all the reaction we get. So we got it over with now, and then possibly that sets us up for hopefully recovering next week. Now Tesla's the same boat. We saw that down crease as well. And now let's take a look at any other automotive. So let's look at Ford. Ford didn't really see it, so it looks like it was just mainly the EVs that were affected by this chip. But those cars still rely on it, so they are suffering a little bit. But it looks like mainly the EVs are the ones that took the hit, specifically NIO, Xpeng, and all of them. So it was all that same reaction. We just found out that same reaction was on the same day, and maybe it was due to this. Who knows? Whatever reason it was, though, we know that sellers showed up. There are more sellers than buyers. That's why it fell down. And we're just going to see how we react this week. Do we come out with more news that, hey, we're extending the production halt and we're not going to be able to make as much as we thought we were, and that may send the price further, or hey, we're actually still on pace. We think we can move over this and still produce what we said we did. We don't know that yet, guys. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled and see what next week brings us. Either way, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this style video where I bring in the news article and then we have a discussion on it. Either way, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.